Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my weekly Gaming with Galera series. So today we are revisiting the same list as last week. I've been playing a lot of it. I am currently, let me just verify this. I am 143 and 78, so 65% win rate over about 200 and something games, 220 games. The deck is performing. I am not the very best pilot of the deck, but I'm learning. Obviously, I've played a lot of games of Painlock. If you've hung out in my chat on Twitch before, or have seen some of these videos, you see that I really like to play Painlock. So this list is exactly the same as I've been playing now for about a week and a half. I made it last week and ended up doing my feature on it last week. I'm also featuring, as I said, the same exact list this week. So I'm going to go over some of the matchups, how the list has sort of performed against the different classes. Um, I don't have like hard data, but I have done really well for one thing that I didn't expect necessarily into shamans. I didn't realize how powerful the starfish was going to be into like freeze shaman, into frog shaman, like just having 3 mana to drop the starfish and then sort of go about your way as your opponent's game plan is like sort of melted, makes Free Shaman sort of an easier matchup than it is for Painlock normally. You do still have to play around like their Flurgle, Toxfin stuff. A lot of them will run Okani, so there's like stuff you definitely have to play around. But yeah, this deck does well into Shaman. It's been doing very poorly though into Druid. I'm something like 7 and 10 with the deck against Druid. And Druid can be any number of things. It's been mainly Cthulhu Druid or Alignment Druid. So that's a rough matchup. If you're seeing a lot of Druid at top Legend, you probably don't want to play this deck. But to get from Bronze to Legend or to get from Legend to like mid-tier level Legend, this deck will perform very, very well. I'll continue to talk over some games. I think I'm gonna talk a lot about sort of the macro stuff this week. I'm thinking this will be a 3 week series. So the first week I introduced the deck. This week we're sort of gonna end up talking like more macro stuff as I play the games and sort of explain to you how matchups work for the deck. And then week 3, I actually don't know what I'm gonna do next week, but we'll figure that out when it comes to it. I just know that it's really good when you're learning a thing to understand the big picture and then sort of narrow it down. We can talk specifically maybe about how to beat Druid. We might be able to talk about some text that you can put in that would beat Druid because that really is the only bad matchup. Um, Let me real quick look through the classes and talk to you guys about each matchup. Demon Hunter, I am 5 and 3 against. It's not super popular, but it's not an amazing matchup because they are pretty aggressive. Druid, we already talked about, really poor matchup into Druid, but not impossible. Hunter is a skill-based matchup. You need to know what to look for in the mulligan. You really need to start looking for healing if you think it's going to be a really aggressive hunter, like a burn hunter with the quest line. You got to really prioritize healing. I would even maybe keep a Tamsin with the idea that you'd go Tamsin double drain soul instead of doing the Tamsin PO stuff. That might be a line against hunter. Against mage, you're looking for, I guess you're looking for Broomstick against Mech Mage, but the really popular list that I'm starting to see a lot more of is Infinite Turns Mage, so the quest mage that, you know, spawns parrots again and again, and you end up needing a Zephrys to clear their ice block before they can do their infinite turns. So that's about a 50-50 or maybe 55-45 in my favor against the what I think is the better deck, which is the infinite turns mage. Mech Paladin is kind of based on how well they draw. Bubblebot is sort of the swing factor in that matchup. Um, so Bubblebot gives all the mechs on the opposing side of the board Taunt and Divine Shield, and they're already buffed because of what the deck does. And you end up like against Mech Paladin either drawing the spawn, or drawing the starfish rather. If you draw the starfish, you have a really good shot against Mech Paladin. If you don't, it's kind of rough. And then Reno Paladin is the other list, and Reno Paladin is a really tough matchup. I don't see a lot of it at low rank. I'm about 2,000 right now on NA with this sort of. I play this deck and do well, and then I play other decks and don't do as well. So that's kind of what's been happening. I've been kind of in the same spot for the last couple of days where I've been like hovering between 1,500 and 2,000, and I'll go like, you know, 10 games in a row with Painlock. I'll go like 7-3, and then I'll play 10 games with like a random. I was playing a Priest OTK deck that went like 0-6, so I'll just like kind of stay in the same MMR range. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Reno Pally list that people are playing is pretty good into my list. It's just kind of the end of the story. It's not an impossible matchup, but you need them not to draw a couple of cards that if they draw them, it becomes really hard to win. Barov, Cariel, honestly, Reno, if they get the Thekel into Reno, can be kind of tough because you have to deal 60 damage to win in that case, and we don't always have that much damage. Okay, so this is Priest, right? Yeah, Priest is usually Inner Fire Priest, and we have the Silence for that. If we find Silence before they find Drekthar, that can be really good. And actually, Drekthar's been nerfed. I don't know how popular Inner Fire Priest is going to be anymore. That's really interesting. But that's like really the only, I think maybe Big Priest is somewhat popular, but I've been doing well into it with Painlock, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. You're kind of, it's a skill-based matchup. You're looking for Broomstick, and you need to know how to do the trades that are the good trades into their minions, and then you just kind of have to draw faster than they get their, you know, Shadow Essence out or whatever. Rogue is really popular, and I'm at about 65% against Rogue, against all variants of Rogue. So, the most popular variant where I am probably everywhere on ladder, if I had to guess, is Pirate Rogue. I'm probably something like 60 plus against them. I don't know exactly because the tracker I use mixes the data from every rogue that I play against, right? So it's like I'm say 25 and 15 against rogue. I don't know exactly what my win rate is right now, but say I'm 25 and 15 against rogue. 5 of those losses might have been against one guy, you know, playing a deck that isn't pirate rogue, and then it's sort of like you can't really parse the data as easily as you might otherwise be able to if you knew exactly what the if it was you know one specific build of rogue, and it was like, yeah, I go against rogue, I go 25 and 10 against this exact variant of rogue, but I know that I have a positive win rate against rogue, so it's not a terribly difficult matchup. It can sort of snowball if they get the cannon on 2. It's usually bad, so I'll very often like drain soul a cannon on turn 2 if they play the cannon, even if I haven't damaged myself. So that's kind of a sad use of Drain Soul because you don't activate the Flesh Giants, right? But the Molten Giants are going to be active during a game against a Pirate Rogue, so to me it just makes sense to Drain Soul on 2 in that particular case. Against Shaman, we already talked about, I am 20-9 against Shaman, if I recall correctly. And it just feels like the Starfish is the you know, the star character, the leading actor in that particular matchup. So that's been going really well. Against Warlock, it's usually Evenlock or Mechathune Warlock. I've actually not seen anybody playing Painlock, which makes me sad because the list is any version of Painlock, but I think yeah, I'm trying to say that Painlock is a good list and nobody's playing it. So hopefully people pick it up from these videos that I'm putting out and becomes a little more popular. I really like the mirror. I'm one of those weirdos that likes the Painlock mirror, so I hope people pick it up. Warrior is really unpopular. Since the double nerf to the quest line over the last couple of weeks, I've seen maybe 5 people playing Pirate Warrior, and it's as easy to beat them as it always has been. You just find Broom, you find Giants, you find Healing. I think it's the best matchup in the game for Painlock, and that's all the classes. So I've gone over all the matchups. If you guys have questions for me, I recommend you come by my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/glare. I stream every night. It's 3 o'clock, so I get my my new quest. Anyway, I stream every night from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern US, with like a couple of exceptions. Sometimes I don't stream on Wednesdays because I do tournament prep on Wednesdays, so I need to be focused on that. I do post on Twitter regularly. I homebrew a lot of my own stuff, and I'll share the list with you guys on Twitter. So I hope you guys enjoy the list that I posted on Twitter. I am glare_hs is my @. I'll link the the details of my online persona on in the description of the video, or it'll be somewhere. It'll be in the outro. Maybe I'll even put it over this screen here, and we'll have it for you guys. You'll see printed is what I'm trying to say, where you can find me when I'm not on YouTube. So without further ado, I am going to hop into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay, and hopefully we find some interesting matchups. The matchups I'm really hoping to find are, I want to show you guys how to beat Hunter or Rogue to beat the aggro matchups. It essentially comes down to finding your removal and healing before they kill you. And then I'd also like to find like a mech pally or a mech mage, because those decks are powerful and pretty popular, and I have a really good win rate into them, even though sometimes it can feel like a bit of a stretch to get there. Also, I honestly wouldn't mind a infinite turns mage to show you guys how the deck works against that, because you're really trying to just draw towards Zephyrs in that matchup. Anyway, that's a bit of information overload probably, but we're gonna find a game. It is 3 a.m. as I'm recording this, so I might do this over 2 recording sessions. I haven't decided yet, but this is the intro. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll hope to see you next time as I do this video series every week. So here we're gonna hop into a game or two, and hope to see you guys on the flip side after we get a couple of wins. There it is. All right, everybody, we're queuing up a game. Not many people play at 3 a.m., so might be a little bit of a wait. I'm pretty low rank, so it probably won't be too long. Okay, we found a game. We're against a paladin. You guys can't see because my deck tracker overlay isn't working properly right now, but against paladin I am 18-9, and obviously I'm 143-78 total with the deck, as we discovered when I was talking about the deck in the intro to the video. So this hand is good. We have the coin. Definitely keeping Happy Ghoul. That's my first instinct, is yes, Happy Ghoul. And then the other 3 are kind of questionable. If it's I don't think we want the Flesh Giant. I think I don't want Power Overwhelming almost ever. And then Solarium is only good if we end up finding Broomstick as the 2nd or 3rd card in the Solarium, when we would die if we just tapped. If it's Reno Pally, Solarium's useless, but if it's Mech Pally, I really want it. So I'm not 100% sure on that mulligan. Okay, I like this. We get to go Tour Guide, tap, coin, touch, Happy Ghoul on 1 if we want to. Or we can just GD our face, that's a better play. This is one of the most busted things you can do in Hearthstone on turn 1. That's a 5/4 with a bit of a cheaty ankle biter attached to a 3/3. Like, it's just so strong. And if he doesn't contest it, like he doesn't contest it here, I tap. I could even double touch if I had already damaged myself more than I have. But yeah, we just tap and trade the 3/3, go face. This is just like an excellent spot that we find ourselves in. He's going to kill off our cheaty ankle biter, but the Flesh Giants are already on 7. Which is huge when we find them. This is something I think about throughout the game, as I try to think, how can I increase the reduction in cost on the Flesh Giants. It's like a bigger picture thing. It's as the game is sort of progressing. We're going to Tour Guide tap because we might find a 1-drop. Trying to go wide. I think this is a matchup I only really win if I go wide. We didn't draw any 1-drops that we wanted, but I say we only really win it if we don't find giants. From this spot in the game, we're really looking to get a power overwhelming turn. That's not good. To get a power overwhelming turn on like quad PO to kill an opponent with like 20 to 25 health. with this hand, this is like not a great hand, as I sort of indicated. Shadowblade Slinger, okay. I'm going to use that. Kind of sucks, but we use that, we broom. I'm going to trade, I'm not going to use the PO again because the goal of this game is to, I don't like this at all. We're going to double touch and go face for 5. But yeah, the goal of this game is just to draw Tamsin forehead. Or draw Smothering Starfish if he puts down a big taunt minion. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, big picture within this particular match, he's going to get Cariel, he's going to get Reno, he's going to get, he already got the Nozdormu, the Timeless, and he's going to get like, he could have Onyxia, Raid Boss Onyxia right here would be really bad. We're in like an okay spot if he doesn't have any of those answers. He's using Zephyrs already. I bet he has a Zola for it. He would have played Brand first if he didn't have the Zola. Wow, so he throws it away, takes 2 damage, or 1 damage I mean, but he gains the armor back. It's probably the right play. I would have thought he'd be, when he made that play, I thought it was almost positive it was going to be a Zola coming down afterwards, but we didn't draw well this game, which I know is like something people say all the time, but we legitimately didn't draw well this game. We're going to do this, Happy Ghoul. We're kind of in the waiting room for Solarium into Tamsin PO. That's what we're hoping to get here. And we need him not to have, yeah, just not to have answers. That's a righteous defense. So we lost this game because of Nozdormu the Timeless. I think he should have played the Zola last turn. This game is unwinnable from this point, so I'm just going to leave it. We have 3 cards left until Zephyrs is active, so we have a dead card in hand, essentially. The Molten Giants were never going to be active if he played correctly. And I don't know, I don't see a way to win this game. So that's an example of Reno decks being really powerful. You get sort of a toolbox of cards. You know, he found the Zephyrs, he found the Nozdormu, which gave him the mana to play the Zephyrs. He had another Zephyrs with Zola, so even if I built a board, I just lost. It's kind of an unfortunate first game, but I think we learned some things which kind of come down to tempo of the pace of the game, right? Like he was able to speed up his mana, right? So we got up to 10 mana, and we couldn't do as much with our 10 mana as he could with his, so we ended up losing. We're going to queue another game. Hopefully we'll have a more successful result next game, and we'll see what ends up happening. But that was kind of a fun match. I do like going up against Reno decks with this deck, even though it's like not one of the better matchups for the most part, because they can like just suddenly have removal in the form of Zephyrs. But yeah, like if you're playing to get better at the game, I think that matches like that are actually really good. Because it's like a brain teaser, right? It's like, how can I find a way to win? And then knowing when you've lost is also a skill. So we figured out that we couldn't win from that point, and we conceded. Anyway, next game is hopefully going to be a little better of a result, win rate wise. But that's it for this sort of segment. I'm going to end this segment and start another one with another queue into a game. Alright guys, we are queuing game 2. I think that game 1 showcased something that was worth watching, so I am going to include it, even though it was a pretty horrendous loss. I think the thing that we learned was that mana is important. So we got Nozdormu the Timeless, and we didn't have a reaction to what he did. So he got turn 4 Nozdormu, and we just couldn't deal with it. We kind of were like a stinging insect, you know, pinging off the minion, and then we ended up losing. So Full Metal on Shaman. I am 21-9 against Shaman, alongside a 64% win rate against everything. So I'm inclined to trust my instinct. Generally, when I have a good matchup into a deck, I'll trust my instinct. My instinct here is that keeping Smothering Starfish is bait. Although it could end up being good if he's like, you know, playing Snowfall Guardian on 6, but I think we want to have a fast opener. So I'm going to keep the Cheaty and the Flesh Giant and toss the Smothering Starfish and the Drain Soul. Drain Soul is really good against Murlocs, but we have a good hand into Murlocs anyway. Murlocs is not great. I'd rather find like a Brimstick against Murlocs if it is Murlocs. We get to do the thing again, which is kind of neat. Just remember not to target anything but your own face if you're on 30, otherwise the fleshies don't get discounted and you can't play the Happy Ghoul. So yeah, okay, I think he's probably playing Big Shaman. This is like 100-0 matchup in our favor. It's really free. Unless they go like so fast, and he's not going super fast. So I'm going to be killing off my own Cheaty next turn. He might be, he could be Totems, but even if he's Totems, like what is he doing for 3 mana? Playing Eyesore and then the Eyesore dies. Kind of operating under the assumption that he is Totems, though. Weirdly. Oh, it is big. Okay, it's going to be a Muck Morpher. Oh my god. Okay. What is that going to be? Eureka. Okay. Overdraft is fine. It's actually like 100-0. We just got to find the broom. So we Tour Guide and tap. Drain Soul's good. We want to trade this. Raise Dead on the 2 minions we want back. And kind of an awkward spot because we can't kill this. If he gets like the kill and resurrect thing and we don't find Brimstick, we might be in trouble. But like you can see that him putting down a 7/7 just doesn't really affect our game plan most of the time. This might be a loss just because we weren't able to get that last point of damage. If he has Ancestral Ancestor's Spirit, I think it's called. I don't play against this deck very often, so I don't actually know every card in it. But right, we tap first, and then we're probably going. Do we tap? I want to kill off this 7-2. I think we tap first. Okay. I'm going to do this. It looks weird, right? But it gets the Giants out. We got a contest board. I don't think we're dying this turn. Doesn't matter if I attack there. I'm keeping this alive. I think that's correct. Like I could have traded into the 7-2 and it gets healed to 2-2 and then I trade the 2-1. I think I'm kind of trying to keep this Cheaty alive though. That might have been a misplay. Maybe I was supposed to damage the... Yeah, because now it's just kind of... It didn't do anything to damage this Stoneclaw. Let me think for a while on this turn. We lead with a Kobold Librarian. Seems good. We found the broom. Okay. So we go Cheaty here. We play the broom. Trade the Cheaty. We gotta break through this turn. We have taken... Leave this at face? No. So we've taken 2 damage. We trade here. Do this. Try to leave as much of the board up as we can. I think we're playing really hard into... yeah, we're playing super hard into Perpetual Flame or Lightning Storm or something, but if he's doing that, he's not doing other things. We're definitely attacking here. I just don't know if I attack if I attack face. Totems don't matter when you're playing Big Shaman. Alright, we just gotta hope he doesn't have cards now. Farsight into... What can he do for 6 mana? Eureka? Sure. We just double trade and we activate Zephyrus, we win. We don't win. We need to find an active Zephyrus and Power Overwhelming. We go looking though. Zeph is not active, but that's fine. We got the we got nothing bad in this this Solarium, so we're gonna trade here just to make space. We're going to Drain Soul, trade here, Touch of the Nathrezim. And I think I just trade an 8-1. Play out the 2 minions, because they're going away. I guess I could keep the 8-1. No, we keep the 8-1s alive. Never mind. I was going to try to keep the Cheaty alive, but I think going face for 16 is important here. Especially because we only need 3 more cards to activate Zeph, and Zeph gives us lethal on turn 9 with Gorehowl if he doesn't roll a Taunt Totem. He might also just be dead here. So yeah, don't play Big Shaman if you want to win games. It's a rough time for Big Shaman. He kind of high rolled too, and we just got there. So that game taught us another thing, which is, besides don't play Big Shaman, that we have a good chance into big decks, and we have a good chance into control decks. This deck really falters the most into aggro. Like really hard aggro can do a good job into this deck. Anyway, that's game 2 of this this feature. I think I played pretty well. There was that one questionable turn where I traded a 1/1 into a totem instead of trading it into the bigger dude, and I think I was like, it was a fine play, but like it would have been better, I think, to do the trade, because especially because he might have been running like Perpetual Flame or Lightning Storm. I don't know his list obviously, but if he was running removal, getting the attack with the 1/1 in to clear the board before it ended up being a thing where like he had a clear, and then I might not have been able to clear his stuff. So just always room for improvement, and we got there. So that was pretty cool. Alright, so we're queuing into our last game for this video. Hopefully it'll be a win. We've had a loss and a win so far. Um, yeah, just wanted to remind you guys as we are queuing in that I have a schedule I try to keep to on Twitch. If you want to check me out, it's twitch.tv/glare. I stream from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. each night, East Coast US. And then I'm also on Twitter, which I have the @of glare_HS on Twitter. So hopefully you guys can check me out there, see some of the lists I publish, and hopefully we'll have another win against Shaman. I'm assuming it's going to be like Frog Shaman. This hand is pretty good on average into Shaman, but I'm going to get rid of everything. If it's Frog Shaman, oh no, but it won't be Frog Shaman because they nerfed Drekthar. Still, that hand was not great. So I think we're really looking for Smothering Starfish into Shaman above anything else. And we want Rat Bait, so this hand is good because it's got 4 minions that are low impact. If we get ratted, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to lead with the Cheaty Anklebiter here. I just really like to activate the Flesh Giants early. I have never been told that that's correct, but I've never been told that it's incorrect. In this particular case, I think Tour Guide tap would be a mistake, especially because we might be able to get another hit with the Cheaty. We might be able to hit his face with the Cheaty. This is saying deal with the Cheaty or lose the game, and that's like a good spot for us to be in. If his like, ooh, that was good top deck. I low-key think I'm supposed to Tour Guide trade the 2/1 Shadowblade Slinger. I think that's the play. We have to kill that. But Tour Guide and tap. And we double trade. There's another line I could have taken if I didn't want to get the Cheaty back, where I would have broomed in the 2/1. I think the draw with the Tour Guide was important, but I might be wrong. This is like a gamble, right? If we end up not needing the broomstick, or if we so the options were put the Cheaty in the Deadpool. Ooh, that's not good. Put the Cheaty in the Deadpool guaranteed, which is not what we did, but we could have put the Cheaty and the broomstick in the Deadpool guaranteed. Okay, this is another matchup where Shaman is just kind of not great into Painlock. We have not the best hand into what he's doing, but we do full clear here. We're going to raise dead first. I think I'm going to broom, right? I should have traded a 1-1 first. That was a misplay. I could have gotten the 1-1 back. But this is fine. We full trade. Yeah, we end up full clearing. So that was a misplay on my part. I was thinking about like what I was saying to you guys and not the fact that I could have gotten back a tour guide and the cheaty guaranteed. That's not usually a mistake I'll make when I'm playing on my own, but sometimes I make mistakes when I'm trying to stream or play for like a YouTube video that I wouldn't make otherwise. Okay, this is great. Really good. So we tap. We got the raised dead. Okay, cool. So now we've had minions die. We're gonna try to get the 2-1 back, and we do. Perfect. So we've taken 5 damage. So we're actually gonna go Shadowblade Slinger. Should be 5 damage, and then I want to trade the cheaty at this point. I think. Jamma Tour Guide to contest. He only has 2 cards. I think I'm not gonna get punished for misplaying. I could have had another tour guide in hand. So I just wasted resources, which is obviously not good. Do as I say, not as I do, as we learn this this deck together. I wonder what his follow-up is going to be. Is it going to be like Doppelgangster and then the other Mutate or something? He might have the other Desert Hare. He could be a Reno deck at this point. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised. Hopefully he's not just going to concede. That's happened to me before when I'm trying to film videos. Okay, so he plays a Horde. That was a weird play. He needs that for his weapon, right? Like I guess he's just trying to contest board. It's not like a terrible play. It was just kind of not what I expected. If I had Zeph in hand, I would rip the Solarium, but I don't want to risk it. So we're going to do this. Push the damage face and end the turn. They usually run Flurgle Tox, I believe. So, yeah, there's the Doppelgangster Evolve. Or Revolve. Evolve is worse. What does this guy do? Whenever one of your other minions dies, summon a ghoul. Okay. And then Zarek. So I need to kill the... probably Drain Souling the 5/3 first. Always playing the Flesh Giant. I think I'm Drain Souling the 5/3 first. And we just full clear. It looks like. Obviously you're not supposed to... I should have tapped first if I was going to. I don't think I'm going to tap. I should have tapped first. Yeah, it's just bad. We're gonna broom every time. If I'd found a 1-drop, I would have played it. I'm gonna do this trade. I'm gonna PO the 1-1. If you guys watching me on my stream, you'll see that I do like cleaner play. I think I've got like pressure on me. I feel like there's pressure when I'm being when I'm filming myself for a YouTube video. I feel like there's pressure to perform, but there's really not. I mean, for the most part, you guys are super chill, and I'm definitely learning as I go, which is a thing that I have to like appreciate, right? Even if I've had the 6,000 or 7,000 wins with Warlock, there's always room for improvement. Looks like we got the win. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna broom and full clear. Cool. Trade there. We're definitely trading this here. And then I wonder if, I think I do have to kill it, right? There's a world where maybe I was supposed to like Solarium or Backfire this turn. I think we just win though, most of the time. Pretty sure we just win, yeah. I'm gonna do one more video and try to like try hard and not talk about the sort of overarching you know, the macro stuff. I'm just gonna try to show you guys like a perfectly executed game. But I'm gonna do that in the next segment of the video. So I'm actually gonna pause, restart, and we're gonna play without the mic for the next part of the video. Alright, so as I said, I'm going to try to really try hard and show you guys a well-played game. I might record this a couple of times just to get like a really well-played, well-executed game, show you guys I know what I'm doing, and still might make mistakes, but we're gonna try to get as close to perfect as we can. And then with that out of the way, once we have that part of the video done, I will be doing an outro and make sure you guys know where to find me on Twitter and Twitch. So I'm gonna mute here and we're gonna just play a game as though I was on my own, so that I can play without the feeling of like having to explain, my thoughts or any of that stuff. So gonna mute. I'll be back in a second. Wish me luck. Hopefully the game goes well. Right, so that went pretty well. Um, Thank you for allowing me to go silent, radio silent, so I could focus on the game. I think a little bit of the rope burn in the mid to late game affected me. I'm not sure I played perfectly. I'm gonna look back over this game and do a final segment on what I think of my own play in the game that I was like uber tryharding and trying to play well. And I'm sure I made mistakes. If you guys want to respectfully point them out, either on the in the comments to this video or in my Twitch chat, you can feel free. I'm definitely open to learning if you guys have opinions on different lines I could have taken or thoughts on how to do anything related to this deck better. If you know what you're doing, I would appreciate that advice. So I am going to pause this segment of the video and we're going to restart in like 10 or 15 minutes after I rewatch this segment. Then I'll have like an analysis. I can look at the game in HS replay. I might not end up doing that. It depends how it ends up going. I might just like have a couple of thoughts, or I might have a whole segment. We'll have to see after I set up the after I rewatch the game that just happened. That was a good win though. We got lucky with the active Zephyrus, and of course it was lucky to get it back off of Raised Dead too. So you don't always get those wins. When they do, it feels pretty sweet. So there it is. I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, so I have pulled together the replay of this last game that I had where I was just uber tryharding. I made one mistake in that match, which was I played into second Flame Ward. Even though most of the time he's a Reno deck, I didn't actually see Reno, Zephyrus, Kazakis. So maybe I should have been playing around second Flame Ward. You'll see like on, what was it, turn 8? I think I played, no sorry, it was turn, the first Flame Ward was turn 5, and the second one was turn 8. I misplayed into second Flame Ward, turn 8. So we're going to sort of work our way through this game. I have about a page and a half of just thoughts on the match. We're going to talk through. I'm basically going to read from my study of the match, and we'll try to coordinate it with how the replay is going. So yeah, the mulligan. Let's just scroll back. So I got offered Cheaty Ankle Blighter, Happy Ghoul, and Broomstick. Here on my end, I'm assuming it might be Mech Mage, but then I end up mulliganing differently. I would keep everything against Mech Mage. This is a really good hand into Mech Mage, but I end up keeping only Cheaty and Happy Ghoul because more likely it's going to be Quest Mage. So that's my assumption now, is that it's Quest Mage of some type, right? He ends up being presumably a Reno, just LPG mage is my guess, but again, I don't know every card in his deck, so there it is. We play the Slinger on 1 to have a raised dead target so that I can damage myself before playing the Cheaty if I need to use the Cheaty to kill an opposing mech, right? Because it's our turn 1 and we don't know if it's mechs or not. And then in the case where he has Armor Vendor on 1, which he ends up having, I may need to play Raised Dead and maybe tap before playing the Cheaty. So having something in the dead pool is really important in this matchup. And then, like I said, he plays his Armor Vendor, passes turn 1. It's our turn 2. I play a Broomstick to fill the dead pool. I can't throw away the Cheaty here because of the armor on my hero. Otherwise, I would ping my own hero with the Cheaty and play a Happy Ghoul, but can't do that. And then I raise Dead on the 2 minions that are in the dead pool. And in the turn, as both Shadowblade Slinger and the Broom are more valuable than to use them as bait for a hero power on turn 2 from the opponent, because sometimes you would tempo the Shadowblade Slinger in this matchup. Sorry, in the matchup against Mage, where you know that it's, I don't know, like a Secret Mage, you might tempo the... Any mage deck that doesn't like to have to ping on turn 2, you would play the Shadowblade Slinger, but we end up holding it because we think it's LPG once he plays the Armor Vendor, which he did. Opponent pings my face, which is a misplay into Painlock, but he might not know that I'm playing Painlock. He should, for the record, but he might not be like an old school Hearthstone player where Painlock was everything and you had to know how to beat it to play the game, right? He might be new to the game or like, um, but it is a misplay, I believe, to ping a Warlock that is a Painlock. We are looking at a turn 4 coming up. His turn 3, sorry. So he plays what we know now is a Flame Ward. Our turn 4 is Cheaty Ankle Biter. Wait, I missed something. We missed turn 3 because it was really fast. Let me go back. I top decked on turn 3. Sorry, I got to go back and redo that. So I draw the Starfish, then I life tap, and I have to float mana. But there's no real other option. There's no good cards to play. Opponent then plays the Flame Ward, like we talked about. And he plays a full-costed Secret on this. This is really hard to do. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to sort of coordinate between how the HS replay is sort of moving at a pace that I'm trying to keep up with, and it's a little bit difficult. So forgive me for that. But it is turn 4. I have cheated my face. I play a Happy Ghoul and destroy the Cheaty with a touch of the Nathrezim. Since we're a combo deck in this matchup and we want to change our health total as many times as we can, then I play the Shadowblade Slinger because if he uses his hero power next turn, on turn 4, we're very happy about it. Opponent plays another secret, so we assume correctly that these secrets are Ice Block and Flame Ward, which is the 2 secrets they almost always run if they're LPG. You can see I made this play to be able to activate the Flesh Giant as aggressively as I can. So like I said, he plays an Ice Block. He's got 2 secrets up. We still need to confirm that it's Flame Ward and Ice Block, but we pretty much know. I attack with the Ghoul, which activates the Flame Ward and wipes our board, and then I play a Tour Guide. And at that point, I play... sorry, I'm looking through my notes. I play a Tour Guide, then I tap for free to get the information that I need to from the deck to know if I can go in with the Flesh Giant next turn. Because it's going to cost 5, right, on turn 6. It's going to be playable. We draw Zephyrus, which is not really that good into a deck that pretty often runs Dirty Rat, but it is better into... like we'd rather, it makes it so that Broomstick is the good hit if he plays Dirty Rat. It makes it so that Flesh Giant is a good hit for us if he hits it. It's like a 50-50 at this point. If it hits Smothering Starfish, that could be bad. And if it hits Zephyrus, obviously it's very bad. And he ends up, grabbing the Zephyrus from our hand and killing it. So that's an unfortunate situation. But that's a little later in the game. So we are on turn 6, I believe. No, turn 5, sorry. So I've activated the Flame Ward, and we've played the Tour Guide. I've tapped for free. I draw an inactive Zephyrus, and I end the turn floating 4 mana. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I made the judgment call here that using the Flesh Giant as a 5 mana 8/8 is just not correct. Most of the time he's able to kill it or doesn't care. I have to get like 2 giants or 2 giants and a second Happy Ghoul out, or I think we're in trouble from this perspective, from this point in the game. Like I said, I could have played the Flesh Giant, but I think the line I took was correct. So his turn 7, rather turn 6. Oh no, I'm sorry, I missed something. I think I missed his turn 5. Yeah, he's taking such quick turns, and the HS replay thing is like really hard to coordinate when I'm trying to read my notes and do what's going on the screen at the same time, like react to what's going on the screen at the same time. But his turn is... I missed it again. That's so funny. He draws a... Oh, he pings my face. That's what I... Oh, no, he pings the 1/1. He pings the 1/1 and floats a whole lot of mana here. So my floating mana kind of made him think, oh, I'm secure. I can float mana here, but I think in reality I could float mana because I have the life tap, right? He can't really afford to float that much mana, I don't think. He might not have a play besides Bran. He ends up roping the turn next turn and playing Bran. If you guys watched the first part of the video on this match, you'll recall that Bran is tempoed on turn 6, if I recall. But yeah, he just pings my minion there, and he actually appeared to disconnect the next turn. But I draw a drain. Is this the turn? No, it's not. Sorry. I life tap to draw Happy Ghoul. Let's see. Yeah, I life tap and draw a Happy Ghoul. Then I cheat my own face, play the ghoul I just drew, and a 2-mana Flesh Giant. So this is why I wanted to wait on the Flesh Giants. I briefly consider, it's the wrong turn. The opponent ropes the turn, eventually playing a Bran and a Dirty Rat, which pulls my Zephrys and a Broomstick, which is really unfortunate. At this point, I'm in trouble unless Zeph can be bounced to hand with a second Raised Dead, which I end up getting lucky and I pulled the Zeph, which gives us lethal past the secrets. So anyway, turn 7. I believe it's our turn 7. We life tap, draw a Drain Soul, then tap into Solarium. I'm sorry, we draw the Drain Soul, we tap into Solarium, then I play a Smothering Starfish to push more damage face to get through the taunt on the Dirty Rat. Right, we want to get him low enough that he's still dead to the Raised Dead Zeph. And I don't believe, yeah, there was no way we were gonna find lethal. We'd need to find like a super high roll, right? Like if Solarium pulls like Tamsin PO and we win, sure, but I think it's better to save it. Opponent will be. I'm sorry, I briefly considered Drain Souling my own minion because you'll see in the video that I briefly considered Drain Souling my own minion, which is a play around Frost Nova or Varden Dawngrasp, but I decided against it. And then the opponent plays a Potion of Illusion, gets Dirty Rat, and Bran and Deepwater Evoker back. They coin the Potion of Illusion. So that's the thing that I now have to deal with, right? Because if he Dirty Rats, it makes it so that even if I get the Zephrys, I'm not, or the Raised Dead into Zephrys, I'm not guaranteed to have the Flare. But I got lucky. So he attacks into our face twice on his turn 7. Let me just see what's going on here. He appeared to DC in the middle of that turn, so that might have been like a rope panic attack face. I think he was supposed to kill my stuff, but I could be wrong. On turn 8, I draw the Raised Dead, so we're in business. We trade the Zeph to put it in the dead pool. It's a really important step there. You got to trade the Zeph. It's not just automatically in the dead pool. And then I play Drain Soul to damage the Bran. And then I play Raised Dead. I get the Zephrys. And then we get Solarium going. This is not the best Solarium I've ever had, but it's workable. I play the Kobold Librarian, and I Shadowblade Slinger to deal 5 damage to the 2/6. So that happens. And then I make some trades, and then I go face. I play into the second Flame Ward here, which is not great, but we're pretty sure he's playing Reno. I was just assuming he was playing Reno. Mage of some type, so it wasn't like a huge misplay, but it was technically incorrect, right, into what could be Flame Ward number 2. Next turn's kind of a doozy, because we Raised Deaded on the Zephrys. We got to make sure that when we get the Zephrys played, that it is manipulated to give us what we want, which is Flare. So finding that out is really important. It's a skill you pick up with Painlock, for sure. Alright, so it's his turn 8. He is going to think for a while and then play Fire Sale and ping a 2/1 instead of playing the Dirty Rat with Bran, which would have lost the game for us, probably. Although maybe not if he didn't actually have Reno in hand. I assume he has Reno. I assume it's LPG with Reno Mage stuff, but I don't actually know that. So he's got 5 health. Next turn, we draw and play Backfire. Sorry, we play Backfire. We had already drawn the Backfire the turn before, but we play the Backfire. We play a Molten Giant. We play Zephyrus with 1 mana left. He gives us Flare, and that's a GG. So that is how to pilot the deck when you are when things are going pretty well. Obviously, getting the Zephyrs back in the Raised Dead was really lucky. We drew enough giants to have big threats. I don't know. That was really fun to look back at my own game and be like, this is how I wish I had played better or differently, and this is how I am happy with how the game went. Like, I think I did play it pretty well. Again, if you guys have comments that are respectful and productive for other people, if you want to talk about where I might have gone wrong, I'm definitely open to learning. So uh, that's it for this segment. We're going to cue into, sorry, not cue into, but we're going to talk a little bit about how the video is sort of evolved, what I touched on, and maybe talk a little bit as well about what next week's video might include, which I've gotten kind of a better idea for how I want to do these Painlock videos in this mini series within the series. Like it's gaming with glare, but it's like Painlock with glare almost, because the last couple of weeks and probably next week, as I've already alluded to, will probably be on Painlock. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We do a very brief outro, so I'm going to pause this segment of the video, and I'll be right back with a discussion of the deck one more time, and we'll get you guys out of here. So hopefully it was a good experience for you guys watching me talk about the deck that I like so much, the Painlock deck, and sharing the deck code. I hope you guys pick it up. It's really, really fun. It's challenging and never straightforward. There's always a line that you can take that someone else would take differently, right? But if you're playing well and you're having fun, this is one of the coolest decks in the game, I think. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome to the outro of this video. I think I'm going to market this as a masterclass in Painlock. I am better than I realize at the deck a lot of the time. Like watching back the replay and seeing how I played so well in that game that I was like really tryharding makes me feel really good about how this deck and my own performance with it when I'm at peak performance can sort of gel together. And I think this can work for other people too, so I want to share this as a masterclass in Painlock. Like I said, for anybody who doesn't know this, I have about 7,000 wins with Warlock, a little under that, and about 90% of those are with variants of Painlock, so it's a deck that I keep coming back to. I highly recommend you guys try it. The deck code will be in the description to this video, and I hope you check me out on Twitter and Twitch. Twitter is twitter.com/glare_hs, and Twitch is just glare. I'm just glare on Twitch. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna end the video. Really glad you guys were able to stay all the way through. If you were, and if you just wanted the deck code, that's fine too. So thank you so much, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week in the next episode of Gaming with Glare.